Hi. All right. I'm going to play a little bit of music while we're starting at first. I don't know. I've been feeling like I got my little iPad here, but I've got like these, let me like make it a little more level here. Um, I don't know. I've had a really nice spring break. I feel really rested. I did my hair, colored my hair a little bit. And I thought, I would start out with calm music, right? But I'm probably going to change it here in a moment. I'm just playing it from my iPad. These are calm binaural Swedish sound. Uh, Swedish Sound Trio. I guess that's what it's by. This is on Epidemic Sound. So yeah, I watched a lot of YouTube, saw some interesting stuff, which I will share later on in the stream. I titled this "Total Eclipse of the Heart." Wow, it's got like a little light thing happening here when I move my hands. Interesting. Right when I said that, "Total Eclipse of the Heart." The song came up, and we have a big eclipse happening on the 8th, and there's a lot of people talking about it. I found an article in the Los Angeles Times. I thought I'd share that for a second while people are coming in because, or maybe they won't come in. I don't know. They'll catch us later. How to watch the solar eclipse from California and avoid heartbreak if chasing totality. So I thought the article kind of went with the title of my show, although I came up with the title before I found the article, which is kind of interesting. Uh, but this was published today at 3 a.m. in the morning. Kind of interesting, right? This is a partial solar eclipse as it will appear in Los Angeles from southeast April 8th. Because like in Los Angeles, I'm not in Los Angeles. I'm in California though, but it's not. It's going to be a partial eclipse. In other places, it's going to go completely dark. But it says while a narrow strip of North America celebrates the arrival of a rare total solar eclipse, April 8th, when midday darkness will be cast on a sliver of states, including Texas, Illinois, Ohio, and New York. There won't be any totality in Los Angeles. Still, if the skies remain cloud free, California will enjoy an impressive partial eclipse that will feature the moon taking a bite out of the late morning sun. In Los Angeles, about half of the sun will be visibly covered by the moon, and in San Francisco, one third will be. The northernmost parts of the state will see the smallest amount of the eclipse, while cities to the south will experience more. In Crescent City and coastal Del Norte County, about 25% of the sun will be eclipsed. In Holtville, near the Mexican border in Imperial County, up to 58% of the sun will be blocked. It'll be the last partial solar eclipse for LA and San Francisco until 2029, 7 years from now. The event has generated considerable buzz as it will be the last total solar eclipse seen from the contiguous United States until 2044. The last one was in 2017, and before that in 1979. Last October's Ring of Fire solar eclipse was not total but annular, in which the moon was a bit farther away from Earth and a short of completely blotting out the sun, thus leaving a glowing ring around it. So, and then it goes on. It says in Los Angeles the partial solar eclipse will start at 10:06 a.m. and substantial bite of the sun will be obvious by 10:39, peaking at 11:12 a.m. By 12:22 p.m. it will be over, according to the Griffith Observatory. So there it is. I think that's interesting. Oh, and then I got this one. This is a real relaxing. It's a real relaxing sound too. I'll play this one I found here. It's still dangerous to look at the partially eclipsed sun directly with your own eyes. You're tempted to do it, but it will burn the retinas, permanently causing blindness. So don't look at it. Okay? Do not look at the sun directly. You need eye protection, as it says. Anyway, there's a guy looking at it. Let me see. Another way to monitor the eclipse's progression is through a pinhole camera, which can be made by poking a hole in a piece of aluminum foil or paper with a safety pin, paperclip, or pencil, and projecting the image of the sun onto the ground. Holding up the colander can also project the partial eclipse onto the ground, as can looking at sunlight dappling through tree leaves or through your fingers aligned perpendicularly. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not gonna go through all that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna mess that up. Yeah. So, wow, this is a long article. It really is. Veteran eclipse watchers say those in the path of totality can expect a transcendental experience. The last moment of sunlight that's blocked out by the moon produces a bright spot on the dark disk of the sun, and Krupp said is referred to as a diamond ring. So the corona is very bright white and very obvious, and you never see anything like that unless it's a total eclipse, Thompson said. The contrast between that and the moon is so extreme, the moon becomes the blackest thing you've ever seen. It's just like a hole punched into the universe. That's the total eclipse in 2017. Says Krupp described the corona as a pearly whitish halo of light around the sun, but has streamers going in various directions. Another feature that can be seen are flame-like structures called prominences on the edge of the sun, showing up in contrast to the white light of the corona. Those in the path of totality should keep an eye on the time, perhaps using a timer or alarm to know when to put their eclipse glasses back on. Well, for sure, get to those eclipse glasses on. Okay, so enough of this like mellow stuff. I thought I'm going to break my. I'm going to play something that I'm sure I might take it out later and put some other music in it. But you know, I feel like I need to dance today, and I was playing this song earlier, and it's on my Spotify. I have it on my heart list. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. And since I might not, again, sometimes when I do these streams, I'm not sure. Even when I try to, I think I'm passing YouTube guidelines, for advertising. It's a lot more difficult to do that. I think when I do start talking about things or showing stuff or whatever, and I'm like, I don't even want to monetize it. But hi, Paul Shields. Hey, Rodney Ward. Good to see you. Happy Cesar Chavez Day. I did make a video that I put on TikTok and everywhere. And here too. So I'll play a little bit of that. But today is we have a holiday. That's why I didn't have to go to school today, because it's Cesar Chavez's holiday. It's day. So it's a federal holiday implemented by Obama. I read in 2014. Oh, it's going to be 99% in Toronto. Oh, wow. That's crazy. So I thought, just for fun, and I don't know, maybe if you want to like dance with me, you can, but this is an oldie but goodie. Here we go. That's a classic. Happy Monday. Yeah, why not like just kind of sit back and like enjoy things a little bit. if CERN is gonna like do something right on the eclipse and the darkness is gonna envelop us, all right, we might as well have a good time tonight, right? Because we're all here going, woo! Oh my goodness. Okay. That reminds me of Cheech and Chong. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It reminds me of George Lopez too, because he opens with this. Like, ladies and gentlemen, George Lopez. No, it's like this. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, George Lopez. I love that song. I love that song. Okay. All right. Okay, so I have I got some it's tulamine. I believe that's what it is. Vanessa Bates kept telling me, Terry, you got to get tulamine. It's for protection. Takes away the negative energy. So this came in Amazon today. So it's my rock, and then I have like a little necklace made out of it too. So hopefully like get away the negative and the the yucky energy that's out there. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on about the eclipse. Okay, so I have an eclipse story really quick that I'll try to not take too much time. The last one that happened 7 years ago, a couple people, I swear this happened, a couple people that did like some pretty, here, let me light my candle first before I go into the story. Because I want the whole vibe here. You're having a party with me in my house right now. My apartment, my bedroom, basically. So I want to light, this is I think this is like a lavender scent candle. I'll put that right there. I don't know if you can see it all that great. I don't want to get it too close to the computer because stuff, I don't want to catching. I have a lot here. I kind of like, really, you're not seeing my whole desk. I kind of need to like clean my desk a little bit. Actually, okay. So the last eclipse, okay, Sean David Morton. I don't know. A lot of people in the UFO community know who he is, and he was on Ancient Aliens with David Wilcock, who also has been talking about the eclipse. Everybody's talking about the eclipse, right? I mean, I've been watching some interesting videos about it. But so Sean David Morton, I had this whole incident happen at SeaWorld, and a whole experience, with Sean David Morton that sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad, and a lot of bad happened. And so, believe it or not, Sean. Well, I was actually house sitting for him at one point in Redondo Beach when he was going on one of his conspiracy cruise trips. They had 12 show cats, these beautiful cats, a certain type of breed. They were just absolutely gorgeous. And there's 12 of them. And I had to clean out their cat boxes every day. And I stayed in the apartment, which was, it was Redondo Beach. So it was like not too far from, the pier. And maybe I'll go like rule of thirds here and see how that is. Not too far from the pier, right? And it was nice, right? Well, before he went on his trip, because the IRS are, they're investigating us. They might show up. The FBI, they probably won't, but something might be happening. And I had no idea that there was something of this nature going on. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. So when it came the day for them to come back, because, I dropped them off in San Pedro, because that's where they took the boat. Right. And they came back. Well, the FBI was there to arrest them. And so I get a call from Sean saying, we're being arrested. And so can you stay there a little bit longer? And then it came down to when they had their arraignment, I went down there, and I'm so glad that this never came into fruition, But they said, well, if they need you to give, would you be willing to do a $25,000 bond for them, so that they don't leave, the country? And at first I said yes, and then they came back. They go, no, we don't need that from you. And I'm like, thank God, because eventually, oh, I know what's happening. I'm shaking the light there. That's why it's flickering. He goes, eventually, it wasn't something cosmic happening. Eventually, he ended up, being a fugitive. He goes on Carrie Cassidy's show, right? And he's a fugitive, and he was supposed to be someplace like really cold, like in Poland, or not Poland, but like, I don't know, near the North Pole, right? And Carrie Cassidy's has them on. Maybe some of you guys saw this. I don't know if it's even online anymore, but Carrie Cassidy's like, well, where are you? Are you in whatever that country he was supposed to be in? And maybe someone will know in the chat. And he says, oh yeah, oh no, it's really hot here. I think it was Iceland. He's like, yeah, oh, it's really hot here in Iceland, or something like that. And he's joking. So the eclipse happens, and he gets arrested. He gets found at his hotel. I think he was like near Murrieta Hot Springs or something like that. He was like, near Palm Desert. And and he gets arrested. He gets arrested. And on the eclipse. Okay. Not only did that happen, but then I had this other friend of mine that I was supposed to, he was really sick, and I was supposed to go move in with him in Newport Beach, and like kind of like be a caregiver, but then also stay there with him. And at the time that I was supposed to move, he just completely dogged me. So it kind of like put me really in a bind. He wanted to have this really good looking guy, young 20-year-old, rather than having me taking care of him, his friend, who was his friend for 20 years. But whatever, I understand. But during the eclipse, that same eclipse, they got held at gunpoint. He had a lot of money. He had all his money in cash in a safe, and he got robbed every single dime. And he had enough to live for the rest of his life. Robbed. The other guy, the guy that ended up moving in with him, was like, they were all tied up, and they were all held at gunpoint. And that happened on the last eclipse. And it was shocking to me, because had he done the right thing, right, and had me live with him, I would have been that other person tied up at gunpoint. Isn't that trippy? That's trippy. Like, in a way, I kind of think that things do happen during the eclipse. I know that there are many of you guys out there. Some of you guys are coming to my chat sometimes. I think it's Astrolunatic. Like, you're really up on astrology and how everything is. There's astronomers out there, right? I'm basically, I'm a layman, but it's just like, it was just a weird coincidence to see all those things happen on the eclipse. So I guess, like, what I'm getting to is David Schurter, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have looked at some of his videos about how the darkness is going to take over you, and the darkness is coming from you for you during the eclipse. I guess, like, there's a devil comment. So I'm assuming, being that, I haven't really had the most, popular things said about me on his channel or the titles of his video, that, I'm assuming that I'm probably part of the darkness that's, going to be going down on the 8th, which is like what? Next Monday, right? I know I have an assignment due on the 8th, which is like really important to me, right? That's my only real stress about it, is that I have an assignment due on that Monday. But I just think for anybody to assume that somebody's going, like us as a human, pointing to other humans, going, you're going to have some sort of something cosmic happen to you, when the eclipse happens, is really, kind of silly, really. Like who makes that person God? Like who makes that person actually able to be the judge of somebody else's like spiritual, their life, everything that they've done in their totality. I don't think so, but um, I was kind of, like I thought it would be kind of weird if, anyway, I have a thought. Maybe I should keep it to myself. It might be too much, but I mean, the latest, I guess I'll show a little bit of it. Because why not, right? I mean, I guess he was wearing his Easter best Sunday hat. Um, and you know what? I'm gonna put fair use. We're educating the public, right, about how like a bunch of us might be consumed by the darkness, according to David Schurter. But so I'm just gonna put this right here, and let it let it go on. But I can't help myself. It's like the comic in me. I really can't. I have trouble like just not commenting on things like this on the internet. The negative part of what might be happening with the eclipse. So here's some of like, you know, uh some of like what David Schurter's saying about it.
It's Easter morning. I was gonna do a video.
Easter morning, like this is okay, guys. This is Easter morning, right? He's saying this to his audience on the rising. He has risen, the day of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. This is what he has to say to his subscribers.
Talking about how the whole case of Isaac Cappy has been resurrected, because it most definitely has. The two people who have
first of all, I think the mystery around Isaac Cappy never really went away for most people. So it hasn't really been resurrected, and I certainly don't think that he is responsible for the resurrection. He's responsible for the misdirection in my assessment. Okay.
and running around claiming they weren't there till hours later, and the one can give you a minute by minute detail of where he was, have now admitted that they were the two men on the bridge with Isaac.
Okay, I you know what? I don't know about you guys. I haven't heard anybody admitting that they were on the bridge with Isaac at that time. And the official story is they were two young people trying to help him off the bridge. That's the official story. There's no, Corey Daniels, or there's no Daniel Dowd. They were not on the bridge. They weren't.
That's a pretty big discrepancy. But I realized that maybe the more important
I'm wondering if David is actually going, like, did he get donations for his podcast? Did he get a new mic or something? Because it's really easy to do a podcast. One way you can do it is just, get StreamYard for free and do like what I'm doing, or you can get a subscription like I do so I can have my own emblem on it, right? And you can just start your podcast right now. You just start streaming, and you can even be doing like, you can be dancing like I am. Like, I don't know what the holdup is for this 30-minute podcast about his, and also his new book called The Looking Glass, which, by the way, not original. All right. I can't even believe he can actually get away with that title. I guess you can, but it seems like a lot of things have been titled Looking Glass, The Glass, whatever. I think somebody showed me just recently that Sophia Music came out of a video recently or a while back that said Looking Glass. Not like, come on. There's always variations. It's the same story told over and over again. Matter of fact, The Matrix pulled out elements of Lewis Carroll in their narrative as well. Okay. So instead of a potion, they took a red pill or a blue pill, right? All right. So let's continue.
for me to speak about is this upcoming solar eclipse and the whole rite that they are getting ready to perform, because the sorry the whole abomination of desolation ritual has been in the plans for a very, very long time. If you were a Luciferian and you wanted to do this ritual, and what this ritual is basically is that they are going to set themselves above God. That's what this whole ritual is about. The red heifers, they use the ash. They have not done this ritual in over 2,000 years. Now we're at a solar eclipse that's one of two. The last one was 7 years ago. It's going to be dark for 4 minutes, longer than any other solar eclipse in a long time, and longer. And at the same time, you can see the Devil's Comet in the sky. All of these are signs that the Luciferians have looked for. And I know a little bit about their plans because as a child, I was raised by the top Luciferians. I went through MK
It almost seems like he's proud of it, you know? I mean, that's how it feels like to me.
Ultra training in Omaha, Nebraska. They were training me to become the vessel for the Antichrist.
And here he is saying this on Easter. I mean, maybe he is, right?
This is not something
I know he's not, you know.
Just pulled out of my ass lately. I only wrote a book about it a decade ago. I've had a blog. I do videos. I constantly talk about it. You know, I know a little bit about what they are planning on doing.
Hey, it's always like them, they. God, I saw that an article about that again when it's, oh, I know, it's something else I'm going to show you. You'll see it.
All of these signs, these astrological signs, they've known these forever. Just because you're all figuring it out now means nothing.
Okay, so we're all behind you are on all this stuff. You know, like everybody just because you don't know it, like as if like he assumes his audience doesn't know anything, really.
No, because they've let you know, but they've known for a long time. This right has been coming. It's supposed to usher in the Antichrist. That's what they believe. What's going to end up happening is that they're giving themselves completely to the dark. And they're doing it without the help of the fallen because they don't have the help from the fallen anymore. That's why all their shit is falling apart. Every day more of it falls to out into the open, into the light. Because they don't have help from the fallen. They think
so give me this is what I think. Is this what he's saying? Okay. So the Luciferians are going to do what they're going to do with their darkness, but because they think that they're God and they're not going to get help from the fallen angels, and we all know what the fallen angels are, right? Which is one of them is actually Lucifer, technically, right? So the Luciferians are going to ask help from the fallen angels, which is like still considered darkness, right? So what it looks like to me is David spends a lot of time acting like he's able to use the darkness as a weapon against people. And but the bottom line is too about darkness and light and eclipses and things like that is the light will always maybe there's going to be a darkness that's going to happen, that's going to pass over, like the eclipse is going to happen and block out the reflection of the moon, but it's still like you can't come. Light takes away the darkness. Darkness does not take away light. That's even physics right there. Light always takes out the darkness. So the idea that there's going to be this, look at his eyes, really. I love, like, they're almost like black in some ways in this video and when you watch it.
I think they are going to be able to set themselves above God. What we're dealing with is spiritual. And you can see what happens.
Technically, everything's spiritual. You know, if you believe that way, everything is God. Everything is spiritual, right?
Okay, everyone's eyes are focused.
Speaking of eyes, there you go.
Where? On Gaza. But no one's looking at that temple. And you're telling me that a country that has been historically world renowned for its Israeli intelligence.
Okay, let's go a little bit past here.
It ain't gonna work the way
he says red heifer
going
though.
to take over. That the dark is going to take over.
Here we go.
You know, they really do think everyone is dumb. They believe that they are going to take over, that the dark is going to take over, and that they're each going to have dominion.
But I think the dark is like 4 minutes in some place. Like seriously, like how much are they going to get done in 4 minutes? I'm just curious about that.
And it ain't going to work the way they think it's going to work.
I mean, they act like we're going to like it's going to be dark for days, you know, like we're going to have a huge shadow on the earth forever. You know, it's like, what? 4 minutes. We got 4 minutes, guys. Get the darkness out.
I've had people ask what they should do during the solar eclipse. May I suggest what?
You know, you may suggest nothing. Actually, I think anything that you suggest, I would not follow. Okay.
Scripture suggests?
No, I do suggest that you don't poke a hole in the tin foil and try to get the the eclipse to come through, because that just looks really like what. But I wouldn't take, and I wouldn't do that either. Like I wouldn't do that suggestion by the LA Times, but I certainly wouldn't take his suggestion either what to do on the eclipse.
Go hide in your bed chambers.
Bed chambers? Who has a bed chamber? I have a bedroom, but I don't go, hey, I'm going to go to bed in my bed chamber now.
Because there's no painting lamb's blood over the door to actually protect you. The whole thing is,
I think my apartment manager would be really pissed if I painted lamb's blood over my door. Okay, I'm just saying.
Is turn away. Because what's getting ready to happen is bad. And heaven is getting ready to respond.
Heaven is going to respond.
That's what's getting ready to happen. And as it was written in scripture.
Right, mind you, this is Easter, all right? No, Jesus Christ has risen. He's washed away our sins. I'm ready for any eclipse to happen. Right? No, it's get ready. You're screwed. You can't put lamb's blood in your door. You might as well just stay in your bed chamber.
Sure. There are going to be an entire huge group of people completely caught unawares. But they're preparing for this shit. They're going to turn on CERN, which is a gateway. They're going to do this ritual and give themselves completely over to the darkness. And you want to know what? The darkness is going to...
Wow, look at that. That's like, he's like a character in a horror film. The darkness.
Fucking accept.
Woo! There you go. Did things pop out? I'm not sure.
That's what's getting ready to happen. They're owned by the darkness. And a servant is not above their master. So, if I were you, I'd hide and pray and fast and pray and pray and hide in your bed chambers on Monday, April 8th.
But not him. He's a perfect human being, hasn't done anything wrong. All right. So I think I'm going to do, that's enough of that. I'm going to see what some of you guys are saying in here. Well, David is a normal human. Remember, he's Jesus' brother, and the Antichrist is super wizard. Yeah, it's all over the place. It's all... David Schroeder's channel is excellent mirror into his psyche. Rodney, I'm pretty close to the town of Oklahoma where it's full-grown fire-breathing, sexy, and beautiful dancing. Ah! All right. Can't even tell the difference between a male Shiva and a female Kali. Yeah. Darn, the darkness is coming after. I have jury duty this week. Just my luck. I got on a jury duty for singing karaoke, for singing a song. It was jury duty appreciation week, and we had we had all these little games and stuff like that, and they were letting some of us go, permanently, really. And they go, who can sing? And I go, I can. And so I sang Maybe This Time from Cabaret. And I got on a jury duty. Yeah, I don't think many people have that story. Nice, so sad. He makes any town he goes to creepy and lose property value. He ran out of the last town for the crazy antics. Okay. Alice in Wonderland. David dresses weird with strange hats, etc. on days he's going out because he's going to meet strangers. Look for the guy in the bow tie and leather hat. This is all reverse projection, covert peppered with overt psychosis. So he has insanity, has the insanity excuse. He's criminal who's never stopped what he's been doing. I would have loved to see what he was trained to do. I imagine a foil cape and a carrot stick for a magic wand. David has narcissistic personality disorder. He has to be special, unique, different, and above. But a lot of these people do that. Like, a lot of the things that have happened online and stuff, like the reason for me calling my channel Not My Rabbit Hole is there's a lot of it is there's a cult aspect to this, even to like some the movements, the spirituality. I'm saying Jermaine, you know what I'm saying. I'm so and so reincarnated Isis, whatever. Like everybody who is on a lot of the super soldier channels and stuff like that, everybody's special. Everybody wants to be special, right? So even if like they are just grifting, there might be some people that just want to believe it. They want to believe that their feeling of not fitting in, or their desire to be exceptional, we start to believe things sometimes. I think that's a little bit of it too. And anybody who, has come forward and, the whole thing is like prophet healing, that like how many people, like, let me even mention like Stephen D. Kelly, who I haven't talked about in a long time, who I used to date for 6 years. He's a Jedi. He's, doing, I got to stop saying, he's a Jedi. He's doing battle in the astral plane. All these remote viewers out there who probably aren't remote viewers. Son of 100 maniacs. Narcissists are the biggest demographic personality that is attracted to all this crap. Yes. Yeah. And conspiracy theories. Yeah. So one thing I want to add in there, because I'm going to do this. Like, again, I'm probably not going to monetize this video, but if you do want to support my channel, that's how you can do it. I'm at hollywoodhemptress@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that run a little bit, just a little bit of a ticker tape, and then like I think we should take like a quick dance break again. I want a quick dance break for a second. Let's go. All right, so all right, so there's a new channel that I have gotten into lately, and there's a person who did something on Jared Leto, and I watched it this afternoon. Let me find it. Okay. And I really like this guy. Okay. I've subscribed to his channel, and I'm going to have to change the banner out here. Okay. Also, I do take super chats too. So super thanks. If you see this later, whatever. Like, share, subscribe. Be part of my channel. It's going to get fun. All right. I promise. Okay, so here he talks. Okay, so it's called Philion. And I'll let him do a little bit of the setup because this is just for educational purposes. I'm not going to show the whole part of his video, but the reason why Jared Leto is so interesting to me, because I did some stuff which I am going to like upload again. I'll upload it on my Rumble. But Jared Leto is living in a I don't know if he's still living there, but he was for a long time. There's an Air Force base in Laurel Canyon that was also used by the military and film and everything. And they also did MK Ultra there, or they did the MK Ultra movie Manchurian Candidate. And Steven Spielberg lived there while he was in film school for a while. But he lives there. There was a big article in Vogue, and there was a guillotine in the place that he left there just because he liked it. But one of the things that got me, maybe I'll stop the share for a minute and just tell you the story for a second. One of the things got me interested in Jared Leto was actually Max Spears, believe it or not. And I brought up Sean David Morton. This is all full circle. When Sean David Morton and I, before he got arrested during the eclipse, I got in this fight, right? And I was at SeaWorld, and I got sort of like dumped at SeaWorld. Like, I could have went home with him, but I didn't want to. So a friend of mine who lives out near that area had me stay at her house. And the next day, there was, what's his name? Dave. Oh, I forgot his last name right now. He's kind of around the UFO stuff, and he picked me up, and we went to Solana Beach. It wasn't Seal Beach. We went to Solana Beach. We're hanging out, and he had these 2 T-shirts, and one of them was like, they were kind of like tie-dyed with like pinkish and purplish colors and stuff in it. And he goes, you want one of these T-shirts? And I'm like, oh, okay. And it was, mine didn't have any words on it. And then his had 30 Seconds to Mars, which was, Jay Leto's band. And in one of the videos, right, that Max Spears talked about, I know you guys are going to go, oh, I don't believe in this, and I don't know what to make of it myself. I'm just saying this is what happened. He talked about, the Mars jump rooms, which was a big conspiracy, or a lot of people were talking about these jump rooms and near El Segundo that they would go to, and they would go in these jump rooms to Mars. All right. Sturts were low, and I'm bringing up old names, right? And he said that when he came back from the jump room, he counted down from 30 and all the way down from Mars. He did a jump room to Mars, and it was like 30 seconds countdown before he was back here on Earth. And then he said he saw the band 30 Seconds to Mars. And it was weird that, after watching this video, all of a sudden, like, he's wearing this 30 Seconds to Mars T-shirt. And I go, oh my God, that's weird. He goes, yeah, I saw Max Spears's video too. And I was like, yeah, we were talking about everything. He goes, yeah, I play with the drums with the band sometimes and everything. And I said, oh, that's interesting. So I said that it was one of the last communications that I had with Max Spears on Facebook before he passed away. And I believe the 30 Seconds to Mars thing was in those last 3 trilogies that he did with that one interviewer in Poland. And he left a message, on Facebook. He said something like, well, that, about the T-shirts. I said, the T-shirts. He goes, that's not it. He said, that's not an accident, Terry. And then he said, Jared Leto isn't even human. And I was like, what? Like, I just kept thinking about that. Like, Jared Leto isn't even human. Guys, I know you're going to criticize me for this. I'm telling a story. You can judge me for whatever you want. I'm just telling the story. All right. So because of that, I'm like, Jared Leto, because I always thought Jared Leto was just so beautiful. Like in the Fight Club and stuff like that, when his face gets all pummeled up, you're like, oh, no, don't do that to his face, not his face, So, but Jared Leto seems to have a few things in his closet that are kind of interesting. Oh, and by the way, talk about things being outed in Hollywood. Look what's happening to Puff Daddy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, Puffy. Okay. So, let me share this. You know that one video of Cat Williams where Cat Williams is like, "What's up, Puffy? What's up, Puffy? What's up, Puffy?" Yeah, it's going down, and it's not looking good for J-Lo either. Yep. Oh, and let's talk about Jay-Z, Mr. Triangle Hand, right? Jay-Z's like pretty much getting implicated in this, but I'm digressing. All right, so let's look at Jared Leto for a second. Okay, here we go.
50 years old. Let that sink in for a minute.
This is Philion. I hope I'm saying it right. And I want you to see this guy because I think he's kind of cool. I like guys with long hair. I'm sorry, I just do. And this guy's smart.
Why is it that Twitter seemingly lost their mind after Jared Leto presented a Grammy to Olivia Rodrigo? A seemingly innocent interaction with dark roots that only some are aware of. Jared Leto began his acting career in 1992 in the television series Camp Wilder, but really hit the limelight 2 years later with his breakout role as Jordan Catalano in My So-Called Life. It was clear that he was a heartthrob and had acting talent, a combination that would allow him to star in Hollywood cult classics like Fight Club, American Psycho, and Requiem for a Dream. Jared Leto is known for being a method actor, aiming to show real and raw emotions in his roles by throwing himself into the world of the character that he plays. Sometimes he gets it right, other times he falls flat on his face. One of his earliest demonstrations of method was in Prefontaine, a 1997 biopic about the legendary distance runner. Jared Leto is most notably known for his Oscar-winning performance as Rayon, a struggling transgender woman in Dallas Buyers Club. Method acting, traditionally known as the Stanislavski.
Here he is. All right, and I really think that performance of the transgender person was absolutely brilliant. He won an Academy Award. It was an amazing performance. It really was. Now, this guy, here he is. So I just think I just really like his presentation.
Stanislavski system was developed as a way for acting.
He's talking about the Stanislavski system. Sorry, probably get criticizing for messing that up too. Stanislavski system. I learned some of this when I was in acting school at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. I really think in terms of comedy, you really don't need to go through all of this kind of stuff, which is mostly what I got cast as. But again, I'm not, I don't really use it per se, but we were trained this way.
To combine,
like for example, you got to put your hand in. You know who was in my acting school was that guy from Third Rock from the Sun, French Stewart. He was in my class. Actually, French Stewart was in my American Academy of Dramatic Arts class. He was much better at Stanislavski than I was, but you'd have to sit there, like we'd have to sit there with our hand in an ice. We'd imagine our hand was in an ice bucket, and then like imagine what it feels like in the cold, and so that your sense memory or your memory of something would cause you to have a physical reaction. Or like if you want to cry, you think about things that happened to you in your past that you can bring up in this other moment so that you can actually cry in the scene. Okay, see what I'm saying? All right, anyway.
And the outer and inner theatrical sense of self by physically embodying the character's experiences.
Today's actors must look to Moscow at the beginning of the 20th century to find one of the great theatrical figures of his time, an actor, stage director, teacher, and founder of the legendary Moscow Art Theater. This is Konstantin Stanislavski. Before his death in 1938 and after, he was an enigma. Successive generations have either venerated him or discredited him. A constant source of controversy, he has been nominated with Einstein and Freud as one of the three true visionaries of the century. Others have denounced him as a charlatan purveyor of mumbo-jumbo. One thing is undeniable. Stanislavski, his theater and his acting system found immortality, even as the world around him was being torn apart.
Although method acting...
Brando was a method actor. James Dean was a method actor. It's also called method acting. Okay, so he goes into the band and what happens with the band. And then he gets into the cult aspect of it. And here's where the cult thing gets interesting. So let's go a little bit to here, maybe.
Acting ability, it's no secret that he's successful on the big screen. Parallel to his rise to fame in Hollywood during the 90s, Jared Leto would start a band with his brother Shannon. They would name it 30 Seconds to Mars. If you grew up during this time like myself, you can probably remember The Kill playing on every alternative radio station in the 2000s. 30 Seconds to Mars would go on to have numerous breakout hits as their style shifted from edgy to pop. This is why many 30 Seconds to Mars fans are nostalgic of their original music but cringe at their new stuff. They continue to create music around vague, relatable themes such as struggle, love, life, death, and faith. Did 30 Seconds to Mars dominate any genre? Probably not, but they were insanely successful in creating a cult following that is now bigger than ever, known as the Echelon. The Echelon is what 30 Seconds to Mars fans collectively call themselves. Not only are they obsessed with the band's music, but also the themes and messages prevalent in all aspects of the community. Members of the Echelon refer to each other as part of a family. From an outside view, the Echelon is just like any other stan group. And the reality is, stan groups are cash cows. Jared Leto knows this and perpetuates the us versus them dynamic to increase rapport with his fans. It's one of the many ways in which he breaks the audience-artist wall without actually having to do much and reap the benefits. Each member of the Echelon will go as far as to follow the band around the world, making sure to attend every tour event possible. 30 Seconds to Mars even has Guinness World Records for their seemingly endless tours. Their logo is a triad with a line through it, which you can find on almost any of their work and on Leto himself. Twice. In 2009, the band released merch which said, "Yes, we are a cult." Although this is supposedly an inside joke between Jared Leto and his superfans, it's a slippery slope when given the context of Jared Leto's reputation. If you define cult as a group or movement held together by a shared commitment to a charismatic leader or ideology, then the Echelon checks all the boxes. And it certainly doesn't help his case that he literally looks like Jesus. In 2015, Jared Leto started Camp Mars, a Malibu retreat where fans can experience the band on a closer level. Camp Mars included outdoor activities, live performances from the band, and a chance to meet Jared Leto himself. Packages ranged from sleeping in tents to VIP lounges, and the prices increased accordingly. Camp Mars was a huge success, and after 2015, it became tradition. It would ultimately evolve into something much bigger. Mars Island is a 3-night all-inclusive getaway on the private island of Obanjan in Croatia. Think Fire Festival.
Now, notice that he's calling it Mars Island, right? I mean, I don't know.
But drugs and alcohol
I know it's the name of his band, but with all the talk about, like going to Mars and occupying Mars and, Elon Musk wearing Occupy Mars, I don't know.
Prohibited, and Mars Island actually happened. Sober people, yeah, that's who I want to party with. Packages
I'm being a bit of a conspiracy theorist right now, but sometimes I enjoy that.
Include yoga, water sports, sightseeing, and 2 30 Seconds to Mars performances. Prices start at $1,700, where you probably sleep on a banana leaf, and go up to an undisclosed amount if
I've looked at this stuff before, so but this guy, he's compiled it very nicely.
you opt in for the Phoenix package, which is probably where you sleep next to Jared Leto himself. I wish I was kidding. That sounds all fun and dandy, but I don't know about you guys. I would much rather stay home and get some quality sleep, which is why today's video is...
Okay, and so he's going to do an advertisement. So, and I'll make sure that I link him. Okay, so let's just go. Church of Mars. Get this. Talk about cults. Talk about, like, how do you wrap people up into an ideology and cult thinking? I didn't mean to say a cult, but talk about a cult, right? I mean, come on, it's like a cathedral here.
On Mars Island, there's a tradition known as the Church of Mars, where Jared Leto actually performs in a cathedral while totally not acting like a cult leader. One of the nights in 2019 consisted of a white night, where everyone dressed up in white and sang Kumbaya by the fire. Once again, Jared Leto...
Like, that's not original, right? Might as well have read Looking Glass to his audience.
Leans into the cult accusations by being self-aware about it. Let's all pose for a picture to mess with the media.
Get that! Look what he's wearing!
Except self-awareness doesn't make it any less of an actual cult.
I mean, I guess when you wear a flowing white outfit, you're automatic with long hair and sunglasses, you're automatically a guru.
One glaringly obvious observation is that most of the people here are women. I thought this was
I believe it's called Kumari. There's a great video, if you ever want to watch it, about a guy who fakes being an Indian guru. It's a very touching film in the end. It'll surprise you, but it's a documentary. I highly recommend it if you ever get a chance to watch it or you have watched it. It's how these people make money. They get laid, everything.
strange too. One of the package add-ons for your luxury stay in Croatia includes a tattoo service, so you can get a tribal marking of your favorite cult leader. Mars Island is an experience like no other.
And think about like the tattoo, like how many of them are going to get that tattoo of his what he has of his own symbol for his band. And think about tattoos like branding, like Nexus, right? Branding. It's all part of it.
Jared Leto lives his life like he's on Mars. The man is detached from reality physically and figuratively. He's been riding his breakout success for over 2 decades, and it doesn't seem like it will ever slow down. If you really study Jared Leto in the media, he has a history of acting like a self-entitled celebrity with a god complex. At the start of the
No shit. Kind of like David Schurter.
pandemic, Jared Leto posted this gem on
Except Schurter's not as good looking.
Instagram. He was on a 12-day silent retreat and didn't know that.
Okay, so he goes on about how like he was on a retreat, didn't know that COVID was happening. But look at who he shows each with. This guy's a real creep. But we'll move on.
Mayor. Have you ever seen celebrities completely abuse their power by making interviewers uncomfortable? I've observed that many celebrities get off on preying on women in front of a camera. They like to push buttons, be inappropriate, and see how much they can get away with by trying to charm or seduce. When in reality, they are playing a rigged game designed to feed their own ego.
You're quite beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
I would like to answer that by asking a question. What doesn't turn me on?
For a long time. Can I squeeze your mic?
He almost reminds me of like Oshi, like what doesn't turn you on? Like this kind of word salad sort of prophet.
Hey, I get there at 5 a.m.
Okay.
and I
so
go
good
straight
luck.
to work.
Está agarrando la mano y me estoy muriendo.
Don't let go. Don't let go.
That's my trick. That's my trick.
Don't let go, please.
What's your sign? Do you know?
Leo.
Really?
What are you?
Hot.
Hot.
That's nice.
Let me guess.
Stegosaurus.
Really?
Yeah.
Saggy?
No.
What?
Pisces.
I think it's Saggy. You're
We're perfect
Pisces?
together.
The film hinted at a sexual relationship between the two of you.
Did it?
Did it?
Is that what you took away from it?
I don't know. What do you
It's
think?
kind of like a Rorschach test, I think. What did you think?
I'm thinking, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dirty birdie.
We're just kidding. We're joking. We're joking.
Okay.
I wish he'd called me Dirty Birdie. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I believe that Jared Leto and other celebrities are never really challenged on this type of behavior for a couple of reasons. Number one, cameras are rolling and the interviewers have a job to uphold.
Okay, so he goes through that, and then this, when it gets to this, it goes on. Okay, here.
People. He appears confident because he truly believes that he's untouchable. September 12th, 2005. The New York Post runs an article that states, Jared Leto likes him young. The 33-year-old Requiem for a Dream actor, last seen squiring Ashley Olsen and Lindsay Lohan around town, has been aggressively pursuing many of the teen models shacked up at the Maritime Hotel. Leto, who booked a suite at the Meatpacking District hotspot while he was in town with his rock band 30 Seconds to Mars, has become infamous for calling and texting some of his underage objects of desire several times a day. He's been approaching all the girls and inviting them to his shows. Girls from IMG, Elite, Next, and Women are staying there, and Jared has been hitting on all of them. He's a serial texter. He is constantly texting these 16 and 17-year-old girls. It's really kind of creepy. In 2011, Jared Leto makes a fool of a man sitting during one of his shows. This is completely uncalled for.
Hold on.
Hold on. Hey, buddy. Hey, yo, you with your fingers in your chin beard. What are you sitting on your fucking ass for? Huh? This is the 30 Seconds to Mars show, okay? If you can, stand up.
Aiken. Clean that birdie. Clean that birdie. Clean it. Clean it. Make sure your birdie's clean. Don't be coming here with a dirty birdie.
You better be up off your fucking ass right now. You hear me?
How the hell he sees one person sitting down in the audience, he's going to demand that they stand up. My ex-husband was like that. He was a comedian. I remember one night he did that too. When I guess nobody was responding. He had that one guy in the front row with his arms crossed, and he goes, "Hey," and he I don't know. He went down and threatened that he was going to kick his ass, and I'm like, "Oh, why does he do that? Don't." You're always going to see one person not liking it. You just don't. You listen to the other stuff. You look at everybody else around him. One person weighing someplace in the back. He must have good eyes, right? He must drink a lot of carrot juice or something.
Understand what I'm saying to him right now? No, don't look behind you. I'm looking at you. Yes.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you in the looking glass. In the looking glass. I got my.
You. Yes.
I gotta wear my sunglasses at night.
You. Oh, thank you very much.
In 2013, Jared Leto held a promotional contest for his upcoming album, Love, Lust, Faith, Dreams. This contest was called #The Sleepover, in which 5 lucky fans who pre-ordered the album would get to sleep with Jared Leto. Yeah. This was, of course, accompanied by Jared Leto's sad attempt at humor. You do know I sleep in a coffin. I will admit my bed
I bet he does. I bet he does.
is more like a hotel than most. In 2015, James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy
Here we go.
and the Suicide Squad, posted a cryptic video on Periscope. The exact contents in the video are unknown, as it was deleted the very next morning by Gunn himself. But accounts recall ranting about Jared Leto for being an overall asshole and sleeping with underage girls. He posted this the next morning. Good morning to Bogota, Colombia.
Like, James Gunn should talk, though. I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
And sorry to all of you around the world who saw my ambient-fueled Periscope session last night.
Ambient? Boy, that is like, whenever you do something online that you're not proud of and that you tweeted, just X or whatever, just say it was Ambien fueled. I'm sorry. I was prescribed Ambien because I can't sleep, but now I know I can't take Ambien. My Ambien fueled Periscope.
At 3 a.m. Yes, I erased it. In 2016, Jared Leto admitted.
Yeah, and Roseanne did that too, and it didn't matter if she erased it.
Admitted to sending anal beads and used condoms.
Okay, this is gross. But and then you want to go maybe like around here, and that might be done.
Or hold up a sign, with your pants off in Times Square. People are going to go with the story that they want to run.
May 16th, 2018. Dylan Sprouse, or Zach from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, tweets, "Yo, at Jared Leto, now that you've slid into the DMs of every female model age 18 to 25, what would you say your success rate is?" This tweet seemingly came out of nowhere. Why would Zach from the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody know this sort of information? And 2, why would he blast Jared Leto on Twitter for thousands to see? And interestingly enough, James Gunn responded. He starts at 18 on the internet. We know that Jared Leto is creepy with girls. We know that Jared Leto has gotten with fans.
Really? Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much it on this that I'm going to share. Because again, I'm giving you a touch of the concepts of what he's talking about, but I thought it was interesting that. Wait. I just want to share this. Share. I guess I go like this. Why is it being weird? Well, I'll make sure that I have it linked to the video too as well if you want to watch more of his stuff, because he covers a lot of different things. So that's that right there. So I thought I'd just throw that in there. Okay, the last thing I think I'm gonna just briefly mention about like the everything. Like we're looking at Jared Leto here, and I wanted to add that in there because I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to bring that to today, but I was talking about the eclipse, and you also like what someone like David Schroeder was saying about the eclipse. There's other things I've looked at. Woodward TV has a good video out on the eclipse, so it's happening. It's kind of interesting. So I thought I'd title it this. I did see that there is a lot of activity still happening that is somewhat negative. Like, for example, I just saw a negative title of a video about myself by that one lady that won't stop talking about me, that's older. And I just thought about, I mean, again, I'm tired of defending myself on any of it. Or if you do find my channel because of that, like if you don't know me, that I'm who I am, I'm Terry Joyce. This is my channel, not my rabbit hole. If you like my channel and you look at what I have to say, I hope that you will have discernment. And I'm not guilty of those things that they're saying. There are people that are doing this as a group that are just on YouTube saying like nasty stuff. And I think if the eclipse is going to happen, maybe I'm going to do the counter of that. And so I thought, and I know like maybe everybody's going to go now, but I thought I would just like say like a little prayer, for the, like, we're supposed to, oops. Okay, that was an accident. It's like, okay, that's a Big Time by Peter Gabriel. All right, so I thought I would do just a prayer, just a real quick prayer for your enemies. And instead of like bringing out negativity and saying something nasty about them, just I'm going to pray. So, dear Heavenly Father, please forgive everyone that is saying nasty things on YouTube to other people. Let them, when I call this video a total eclipse of the heart, let them find themselves in their heart and their own love and their own joy, so that they will mind themselves and mind of their words and come from a place of love. And in Jesus' name I pray, amen. Okay, so that is today's prayer. And, I just think that that's a lot better than, doing everything else. So maybe we'll like, I think I might get away. I don't know what I'm going to get away with playing. So here, I want to play a little bit. It's my favorite part. Okay. All right. So on that note, oh, one more thing. I did do another video today, because it is Cesar Chavez's birthday. I wonder if I have that video up. I wonder if I have that in my, I actually did a documentary on I did a part of a documentary for my final in my film class, on, I think I uploaded it. Let me see. Let me find, oh, darn it. I got to go back in again. I hate it when I enlarge it by accident and then all of a sudden it does it. But if I have it, I'll play it really quick. If I find it really in a moment. I think I gotta go to the next deal. Okay, wait. I guess I don't. Huh. Yeah, I guess I don't. Oh, well, but I do have this in honor of Cesar Chavez. So I'll get out of here and go to here. It's just like a short, but I made it today. It was, I wanted to do it. So, here it is. Okay. I enlarged it really big, so but maybe that's good. Here we go. No, it's not good. I can't get it to work right. Damn it. I don't want you to be big. Ah, that is so annoying. Okay, here we go. This is so it's just like something really quick I did. It's like Happy Cesar Chavez Day. So he's a big deal here. All right, I'm gonna say goodbye and just play out my regular fun song. Thanks for showing up tonight. And I wish you guys a great rest of your week. And don't let a negative person crush your goals. Thank you, Mikey. Lowrider. Yeah. Maybe I should just stop with like I should just like we should dance some more to Lowrider. That should be like why not, right?